series with the University of Scranton Small Business Development Center. And thank you for hanging tight a little bit past 12. I'd like to just give a little extra time for folks that are getting to their computers a little late. So I'm just going to start off with a few comments. And Keith, I have you off mute now, just so you know. But as I said, I'm Jamie Dunlap with the PCA, and we are really excited to bring our second part of our webinar series on how to build your art business. Excuse me. Both of our webinar sessions have been developed in partnership with the University of Scranton Small Business Development Center, and they were designed to provide artists of all disciplines and all types with knowledge and skills and support that you all need to start and run your own small business. And so, as I said minutes ago, today's presentation will be focused on success with social media. And joining us today is Keith Yurgosky from the University of Scranton Small Business Development Center. Keith has been there since 1994, I believe it said, and he actually holds dual roles at the Small Business Development Center. He is both a consultant as well as a trainer. As a consultant, he works with both existing and startup businesses, but he specializes in internet marketing and social media. And as a trainer, he covers topics that include eBay and Nextel, education, and both of these things he has been trained and certified in to be an educator on. But today, as I said, we'll be focusing on social media marketing. And I just want to take a minute to thank Keith for all of the time and energy that he put into today's webinar presentation. I know how much effort it takes to pull all of this information together, and so we are incredibly grateful for all of the hard work, that Keith, you are bringing to today's presentation. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sure. And just a side note before I pass this over to Keith, you'll see up on your screen right now there's a little welcome page, and at the bottom of that welcome page it says that during the call all participants, so all of you folks, will be on mute, and that's really just to reduce the background noise that can be very distracting. So, but we do want to hear from you, and we want to know if you have questions. You'll see that in the webinar interface there is a place to type in questions. I'll be keeping an eye on that throughout the course of the presentation today. And when we get to the end, we're hoping to have some time to take some of those questions. Again, you can either type them directly into the webinar interface, or there's a little hand icon that when you click on it, I will see it on my end, and I can unmute you, and you can ask the question live as well. So whichever you're most comfortable with, and again, hopefully we'll have some time towards the end of today's presentation to take some questions from everyone. So without further ado, I'm going to, guys, just hang tight with me one second. I'm going to pass the presenting rights over to Keith, and he will take it away. And while I'm doing that, Keith, if you'd like to introduce yourself, go right ahead.
Thanks, Jamie. I guess good afternoon, everyone, and I want to thank you.
Hello?
With me here from the Small Business Development Center at the University of Scranton. And hold on here,
sure. Sorry about that. I shouldn't have had you dual task. Thanks.
We've been working with the PA Council on the Arts for a few years now, and this is the second time that I'm doing a webinar series on this topic. And for those of you who don't know much about the Small Business Development Center, we work with a lot of small, medium-sized businesses throughout the country. We're a national program. We're hosted here at the University of Scranton, but the funding for the program, I'll just kind of go through this a little bit with you here. Our goal is to work with small businesses to help them succeed. We're a free service paid for by tax dollars, both through the federal government, through the Small Business Administration, as well as through the state of Pennsylvania's Department of Community and Economic Development Center. We're also, our largest funder now, because of budget cuts, is the University of Scranton. They've stepped up where the government has kind of dropped the ball, and they've been a great host here and they give us access to a lot of resources here on our campus through databases and other items that we can use to share with our clients. Our center is one of 18 in the state of Pennsylvania, so you don't have to drive to Scranton. Our center covers the north, the east, the 8 counties in northeast Pennsylvania: Tioga, Bradford, Susquehanna, Wayne, Pike, Monroe, Lackawanna, and Wyoming. And we have outreach centers in each of those locations where we have partners and banks and state legislators, and we use their offices to meet clients, so not everyone has to come to Scranton. But depending on where you're located, there's an SBDC near you, and those services are available to you. Again, these are the different centers that are located throughout the state. Depending where you are, again, you can access one of them. The nice part of our services are they are free and they are confidential. We provide consulting one-on-one to a lot of businesses throughout the state, and we also, as Jamie mentioned, we also do training. I'm also a trainer. We provide services such as this webinar today, but we also provide low-cost programs on a variety of topics: business planning, help getting financing, how to start a business, marketing. My area is social media, internet marketing. So we do a lot of those things. What we don't do is we don't administer loans or grants. People are out there telling you there's free money. Most likely it's not true. We kind of help you dispel those rumors. We don't give legal advice. We're not attorneys. We don't write your business plan, and we don't serve as an accountant or an attorney for you because we're not. And we don't do taxes, by the way. Again, as I mentioned, it's offered at no cost, and we're funded through the state of Pennsylvania, Small Business Administration, and the University of Scranton. Myself, as Jamie mentioned, I started in 1994 with the Small Business Development Center. I was only 3, so now I'm 23. I was a prodigy. But actually, it's interesting. My title is Manager of Internet Business, but my background is in accounting. And then after I started working here at the university, I found there were so many businesses that needed help in marketing and getting their message out that I went back and got my MBA in marketing. And one day my boss came to me and said, since you're the computer expert, because I knew how to use Word and Excel, I had to do a website for us. And that kind of led me into internet marketing, and I kind of, over the years, have educated myself on internet business and internet marketing, and then all that rolled into social media marketing. For those of you who don't know where Scranton is, one of our famous businesses here was Dunder Mifflin from The Office, that was on NBC for a number of years, and that's kind of our claim to fame here now. Today we're going to talk about social media, and that's why you signed up. But before we could even talk about social media, it's important that we know some of the basics about keywords and internet marketing and how search engines work. So we're going to talk about those first, and we're going to talk about mostly social media. Okay, first we're going to start off, let's try this, okay? So now you know a little bit about me. I want to know about you, all right? So I'm going to ask you to do this. If you have an iPad or a mobile phone, I'm going to ask you to take a selfie of yourself, and I want you to post that selfie to either Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, using the following text, and you can just cut and paste this. Actually, you're not going to be able to cut and paste it, but you could just retype this. And I did it. I said, hi, my name's Keith, and I'm learning about social media today through the SBDC and the PA Council on the Arts. So if you want to take a minute and do that, and then post that photo, that would be great, because later on I'm going to show you a tool that we can use to find out and track that hashtag, PA Council on the Arts, and we're going to be able to see who actually posted it and where. So again, first you take the selfie, then you post that selfie to either Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Actually, you can even put it on Pinterest with the following text. Hi, I'm whatever your first name is, and I'm learning about social media today through the SBDC and the PA Council on the Arts. And it's important that you use the hashtag or the pound sign in front of the words social media, SBDC, and PA Council on the Arts. Okay, we're going to move on. Okay, so what is marketing? Marketing is everything you do to get your product or service in the hands of the customer. So then internet marketing is any marketing activity conducted online through the use of internet technologies, your web, your email, your blog, or social media that helps you get the product in the hands of the customer. When we think of marketing, we always think of advertising, but realistically, marketing is all of the things that you do, from researching what people need to how much they're willing to pay for it, to how are you going to get it to them, and then again, what means are you going to use to let them know that that product's available. So there's a number of different things. Again, the SBDC can work with you to do a lot of these. Get an understanding of all of this. Okay, so where do you start? Okay, the first thing you need to do is listen. You want to listen to what do people need. A lot of times we have people come in and they'll say, I have this great product, but nobody's buying it. Well, who wants that product? Well, everybody can use it. It's not necessarily everybody wants it. So what you do is you try to listen. And the internet has leveled the playing field for a lot of small businesses, and it gives you the access to customers that you didn't have access to 20 years ago. So how do you use these tools? One of the first things we use is Google Alerts. Okay, if you go to the website google.com/the word alerts, it takes you and it brings you to the page that I'm on right now. At the end of this presentation, you'll be given a link that downloads the slides with different sites that I mentioned today, so you'll be able to get access to those. But Google Alerts allows you to create an alert, and that alert will send you an email. And in today's day and age, when people have the ability to use a mobile device, such as an iPad or a mobile phone, these alerts are great because they give you an immediate notification when someone's talking about you, your business, your industry. There might be an event that's taking place, so you might be able to track that. So you can go into the search tool. Up here I have artists and crowdfunding. I just did a quick search on that. But I can click Create Alert there, and that will send an email alert to my email anytime the artist and crowdfunding come up in a search or are published online anywhere. So here's examples. It just grabbed here. Is crowdfunding the future for first-time novelists? I can't pronounce that name. Rakwan sure knows how to make enticing crowdfunding rewards. And new CTV pilot capitalizes on crowdfunding trend. So we're going to talk a little bit about crowdfunding today, since that's the latest and greatest tool that artists can use to help them financially, but also to spread their message. The other thing is hashtags. And before, when we did that little activity where I asked you to post a selfie, I said to you it's important that you use a hashtag in front of certain words. Okay, a hashtag is basically the pound sign. Well, let's say it's actually a keyword or phrase preceded by the pound sign that people include in their social media posts. What it does is it makes the content of your post accessible to all people with similar interests, even if they're not your followers or fans. So prior to Twitter adopting the hashtag, the only people who would see what you would post on social media would be those people who follow you. Now, by using a hashtag, the hashtag allows anyone who follows that hashtag to see your information if you post using it. I use the example all the time. I have 3 daughters, and I'm a wife and 3 daughters, so I'm really outnumbered in my house. So I have a man cave in my basement. I go down there to watch sporting events while they're upstairs watching Honey Boo Boo, the Kardashians, or whatever else. So I go downstairs, and I'll go on Twitter, and whatever sporting event I'm watching, I'll find whatever hashtag people are using. So I could literally be sitting there with millions of people watching a sporting event and conversing with them online about what's happening during the game. The same thing can be done on television shows, and we're starting to see more and more of it from a business standpoint. We're going to talk a lot about different hashtags as we go on today. I came across these. These are the top 100 hashtags for artists, and these seem to be actually mostly geared towards photography and painters. But there are, what you want to do is research and find out which hashtags are popular in your field, and you want to start following them. And then whenever you make a social media post, you want to make sure you include that so that your information that you're posting can be seen. Okay. We're going to go to a website called tagboard.com. So if you have the option right now to do that, and you're going to see a search tool right in the page there, and we're going to do a search tool, PA Council on the Arts, and let's see if anybody followed my initial instructions when they posted their selfie. So I'm going to hop out of this real quick.
Hey, Keith, I have a quick question while you're doing that. This is Jamie. So is it, as far as the hashtags go, is it uppercase, lowercase, sensitive, case sensitive?
No, it's not.
Okay, I was just curious.
Hey, a couple people actually followed us today. This is great. We got 4 of them. I like Brandon there with the cat. But you'll see this is a way that a tool that you can use to track hashtags to find out, who's actually following it. You can create a custom hashtag for your business, and by doing that, then you can go and see if others are following it or using it. If you have an event that you're participating in, for an example, I attend every year the American Association of Small Business Development Centers National Conference, and every year they'll have the event hashtag, like last year was SBDC 2014. So throughout the course of the week, everybody that was attending that conference, and there's thousands of people at it, they would post on social media all their photos of things that they were partaking in or seminars that they were attending, and they'd always use that hashtag. So you'd be able to follow a lot of different people who were at the event. All right. Well, to Heather, Sherilyn, Pam, and Brandon, thank you for following along there. It makes it a little easier when I'm trying to explain things, so I appreciate that. Go back to the presentation here. Okay. That leads us to keywords. Okay, keywords are, what are those hashtags? What are those kind of words that we want to use or that we want to follow? Okay, this takes us back to search engine optimization and websites. So things that you want to do is you want to look for how to determine what are your most valuable keywords. All right, so keywords are used for related searches. Look for things that are all possible related to the keyword that you're using. Which ones are going to get you quality traffic, keywords that are specific to your product or service, and ones that have high clicks, and they say on low cost, and that's if you're paying for AdWords. Now, to make this a little more simple, I'll give you an example. We post for the Small Business Development Center, we post on Twitter all the time. And we find that we get some relative feedback. But we started finding out that, we started to look in terms of what are people who are looking to start a business or who have an invention, and they're looking to take that. Or they have, basically an idea or a dream for a business. And we started looking at what kind of hashtags they were using. So when we would post, we would use those, and we found that our traffic on those posts increased by typically we might get 3 or 4 people would retweet or favorite it. We were getting 20 to 30 people would favorite or retweet it, just by using those hashtags that would take people, would get us the audience of people that were outside of our followers. So that's where it's important. Google AdWords is a great way to, if you open a Google account or Gmail account, you're able to get into AdWords and get into their keyword tools to find out what people are searching for and what they look for. So how do you use keywords? Look for niche keywords or markets others haven't found yet. Include the most popular keywords in your website copy. Include them as hashtags in your social media posts. Use the most popular keywords along with qualifiers. A qualifier, to me, I took a Google seminar and they said 80% of Google searches are location-based. So if I'm looking for somebody who does wall murals, I'm going to type in wall murals in Scranton because that's where I'm located. So I'm going to be looking for that. So geographic identifiers are huge. You want to make sure that you include those. Some people say, well, I sell all over the world. Well, that's fine. But at the same time, you may be able to track some if you look at specific geographic areas, you might be able to track a different market there. So you want to look at keyword metrics to find opportunities, and you want to do this all the time. You want to keep going. Marketing is an ongoing thing. It's not something that's done one time. If it doesn't work, you abandon it. This is the Google AdWords Keyword Planner. So I entered the keyword wall murals, and it shows me the average monthly searches. And I targeted different towns nearby me. So Carbondale, Clark Summit, Moscow, Scranton, Dunmore. And it said in those areas that I was averaging 20 monthly searches. 20 would be the high. So you could actually, if you planned on advertising on Google, it says a suggested bid would be $4.66. That means that at any time somebody found your ad that you placed for wall murals in Carbondale, Scranton, Moscow, anytime that ad showed up, if someone clicked it, you would be charged $4.66. You don't have to advertise. You don't have to spend $4.66. $4.66 will get you to be #1 on Google, but if you just want to show up in the top 10, you probably could get in there for less than $1. What does that mean? 20 people a month search it, so at $4.66, I'd still be spending less than $100 a month in advertising. However, if I bid $1, my monthly searches would be $20. And that's only if every one of those people who searched it clicked on your link. So you can set a budget in Google, and you don't have to exceed it. Once it's exceeded, you'll just not show up. Your ad won't show up anymore. But sometimes it's worth, if you have a couple dollars to spend in marketing, to try Google Ads. I was working with an interior painter earlier this week, and he just started to go on Facebook. He calls me this morning and said, I put up my Facebook page on Monday. I've already received 2 messages in my inbox asking me to give estimates on jobs. He said, I can't believe how quick it works. So he immediately went and started placing Google ads now. So we're going to work on fine-tuning some of those for him. Okay. The Keyword Planner, the Keyword Planner tool also allows you to look at volume trends, how many monthly searches. I typed wall murals, but then they start showing me relevant terms, so mural painting, mural art, wall murals. So if you start looking at it, you can use this 2 ways. You can say, okay, I want to focus on, because of my advertising budget, I want to focus on those things that only have a small number of searches, and I want to be #1 for those, and it won't cost me a lot of money. Nobody's bidding on them, so I can keep my dollar amount really cheap. Or I can say, okay, I want to get a lot of traffic, so I go for wall murals, which gets 100, averages 210 searches a month. 210, it's 54, so that's only going to get you around $100 a month, which isn't bad, a little more than $100 a month. but you can look at the different keywords that are used here. Wall murals, wallpaper. So again, identifying which way you want to go. Do you want to carve out your niche and pick out the ones that are small, space murals, deer murals, beach murals, or do you want to go after the high volume traffic? And a lot of that depends on your speed at which you work, your capacity that you can kick items out. That again, that depends on you. But it's a great way to get yourself noticed and get out, have your work shown. Okay, search engine optimization, those keywords are used in this term, search engine optimization, and that's the process of improving the visibility of your website or a page in a search engine without paying for Google Ads. It would just be a natural, or they call it organic, search results. All right, I did an example here. This is a quick one I'll go through with you. I did a search of dark chocolate. By searching dark chocolate, I'm going to see 106 million results, and that's anything that has the word dark, anything that has the word chocolate in it. Okay, here's a web page, the dark chocolate path. These are different places throughout the web page where it's important to have the words dark chocolate. Okay, in your title, the chocolate path, dark chocolate. I apologize, the screen capture is not very good, but you can see they put in the chocolate path, dark chocolate gifts, dark chocolate baskets. So different things that would possibly be searched. In the headline of the website, it's important that you have it there. Each image on your page allows you to tag words that hide behind it. They're called alternative text. You can actually put dark chocolate in those hidden behind the page as well. In here, each of the links to different pages on the website are named with dark chocolate in it. And the most important thing that search engines look at is it in the text of the website or the content of the website? So again, here you see dark chocolate, chocolate path. They have those words in here quite a few times so that it helps them get found. Okay, so if you look at the text of the site, here's how many times the word dark chocolate appears. There's a limit. You don't want to do it too much because you'll be considered a spammer and they'll kick you out of the search engine. But if it's something that's relevant to the page, it's going to help you get found. So you start to see dark chocolate gift baskets, dark chocolate, gourmet dark chocolate. So by putting those in there, again, it helps them. It's the content of the page, and it's going to help that site get found. Okay. Moving along. Now we'll get to the social media, and that's what you guys all signed up for today. Social media. The reason that people should embrace this is, first of all, as I said earlier, it levels the playing field. It allows you to provide, relatively inexpensively, content related to your product or service. Okay, so it creates a buzz. I say it's free, kind of, but you have to put a dollar amount on your time and realize how much time you're spending on social media to get an idea of how free it really is. You can revitalize your image if you've had some problems with that. Expand your customer base, which is why everybody's relatively signed up for this webinar today, because I'm sure that's what you're looking for. It allows you to connect closely with your customers, and it allows you to use hashtags. Okay. Back in the day, if you wanted to stay in touch with your customers, you needed to go where they are, wherever that was, and social networking allows you to do that. There's a website I'm giving you here. It's moz.com/local. It lists all of the places that you can list your business, put a business listing for free. And these are local listings. The reason this has become so important is that voice-activated searches on mobile devices such as Siri and Ask Google, they look at local searches, review sites. Social media is not only Facebook, Google, Yelp, YouTube. I should say it isn't only Facebook, Google, YouTube, Twitter. There's sites out there like Yelp, which are review sites. Review sites, anytime you can get your business reviewed, Amazon, Yellow Pages, any of these places that will list your business and allow people to put reviews out there, you no longer control the message. It's being controlled by other people. So it's important that you have a presence, that you claim those listings, so that you create the content that goes out there. Because if you're not putting content out, the content that's being left by reviewers, either good or bad, is what's going to be pulled by search engines. So if somebody starts giving you bad reviews, and I had a business with a restaurant, came to me and said, how do I get all these bad reviews off my Google page, my Google reviews? And I said, you provide better service. That's how you're going to get rid of them. And he said, no, I just want to delete them. It's like, you can't delete them. You don't have control over those. So you need to go out and show that you're making an effort to please that customer who left a bad review. It's no longer in your hands. The message of your business is now in the hands of others. So a lot of times you need to use social media not only to promote your business, you might need it to save your business. Okay, where do you start? I think what you should do is to create your online brand. Come up with a consistent screen name that you use on multiple platforms. So whether it be Facebook, Twitter, Google+, whatever, be consistent with the screen name that you use, and that's your brand. Create that. Okay? There's a website called namechk.com where you can go in and search different screen names, and they'll tell you if that name is available on what platforms. So you might want to go and change it around so that you get the platforms that you want and have a consistent screen name. Okay. Our SBDC, we have it in our domain name, our Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, our blog, Instagram, Facebook. Later on today, I'm going to send you a link to what's called SlideShare. We have one out there. Anytime we can grab a social media thing that's popular, we try to grab that Scranton SBDC screen name to stay consistent. Okay. Social networking is great because Facebook allows you to create a fan page or a business page, they call them now. Twitter allows you updates on your work. All of these do similar things. Pinterest, you can show your art complementing a lifestyle. You can have a blog, Instagram, Flickr accounts. The most important thing is that all of these allow you a way to get back to your website or wherever it may be that you can sell your product or service. Pros and cons of it. It gives you exposure to people who are interested in what you do, potential future customers. It's an easy way for people to get basic facts and information. A great way to contact you and to alert people to what you do. Negative, it's time consuming. You might be picky about what you put up there. You don't want some people seeing some of your work. It may not be for everyone. One of the biggest cons is, as I just mentioned earlier, though, and I don't have it listed here, is the fact that other people have the ability to comment. And while you think something's great, they might not think so, and they may put that out there. So you have to have, you have to take the good with the bad. You can't let bad reviews bother you because there are people out there who just make a living on doing it. What you want to do is encourage your good customers to leave reviews and give them rewards for doing it. All the time people come to our center and they'll say, my best advertisement is word of mouth. And I'll say to them, how much money do you spend on word of mouth advertising? I don't spend any. Well, if you want more people to give you reviews, good reviews, and you want people, give them some kind of incentive. Make them want to leave you a good review or to spread your word to say, would I recommend this person? Spend a little money doing that. Excuse me. Next, we're going to talk about blogging. A blog is it's free. It's real search engine friendly. And when I say that, I mean search engines like things that are current. So a blog allows you to easily put out content related to your business, content that you want people to see as opposed to those review sites. It's a good starting point. Our blog, Scranton SBDC, again, that's our brand, .wordpress.com. WordPress is a free website that allows you to free blog. You can use blog as an online journal, and again, as I mentioned, it's search engine friendly. It's a longer version of Twitter. Typically what we do is we create a blog post and then we link to that blog post on Twitter, on Facebook, on Pinterest, wherever. You can start one again through Blogspot, WordPress, or Tumblr. It keeps people updated on what you're doing. It allows comments and feedback. Why should you blog? You can share your expertise, highlight accomplishments, become known as an expert in your field, and you can monetize your blog and make money on advertising. So if you feature specific products that you use in the making of something, you can highlight them, and eventually those people may advertise on your site. Okay, I'm going to show you some examples here real quick of some good blogs. I like this one, John T. Unger. I'm sorry. He makes these custom fire bowls, I like to call them. This one is more of a sconce of some sort, but he goes through the process and shows how he made it, how it was designed, and how it functions in place outside of an archway. And he shows his fire bowls. These are not cheap items, by the way. You know, he has items, I believe, that they run upwards of 20 grand. So, you know, again, not cheap. So obviously, when you get into art that expensive, your market is shrunk. So he's got to do a good job in getting his word out there. But it's a good blog. He has a store where people can buy. Again, his blog talks about the artist, his portfolio of his work, and his contact information, which is the most important. You have to make sure you have a way to let people know who you are, where you are, and how to reach you. Also, real important on this blog, links to his other social media sites. Another one that I wanted to show you was the Thrifty Decor chick. She has a nice site as far as she's monetized her site with advertising dollars. And she does projects around her home, and she talks about the different things that she uses to make the projects. And again, you'll start to see that ads will pop up here. She's really good at explaining a step-by-step process of how things are made. You know, I'm a very unhandy person, and I've used some of the things that she's posted to help build things around my home. So I find that this site very useful. But she also has all those ads on the side that she gets paid for by putting them on her blog. Here's Tumblr. This is more of a graphic blog site. This person right here, I'll give an example, drew a picture of one of the singers in the band One Direction. What they've done is hashtagged the name of the singer, the band One Direction, and the word drawings. Apologize for that. But again, that's getting him out there. It's getting the artist's work shown out there for people who are looking at different things, not even related to his work. So Tumblr, nice, good way to use hashtags. You know, here's a watercolor painting, and I actually did a search for watercolors. These are what showed up, and you'll see they hashtag the word eyes, watercolor eyes. So Tumblr's a good site. Great way for artists or anyone to present their work out there in a visual way. Facebook. Facebook is still the beast in social media, over 1 billion people. If you're looking for your customers, that's where they are. It's hard to dismiss that many people. Facebook page is the easiest way to establish a presence within Facebook. You can run promotions, polls, send updates to your customers. You can extend it with custom Facebook applications such as photo galleries, send a gift, put out coupons. My wife was a big follower of TGI Fridays, and you know, she joined their Facebook page, and every Wednesday they'd send her a coupon that would allow her to bring the kids for free on Wednesdays or whatever it would be. So she would take advantage of those kind of things. Just by a user responding, their action is pushed to their network of friends through viral marketing. Now, Facebook has put the clamps down a little bit, and not everybody sees your stuff. So it's important to stay active on there and interact with your customers and with different people. And by you interacting, your business name shows up on their pages. Not only that, but then if you're a frequent customer or an interactor with certain people, your information will show up on their pages. Okay, here's an example of a dance studio here in Scranton. They're using their Facebook page to highlight their events. So they list each of the things that they have going on during March. You can join. Just a great way, again, to get the word out. This is one of my clients who's a photographer, and he said it's a great way to become personal with his clients. They're now friends, which is the term that Facebook uses, and he shares photos and video slides of their images, and they're thrilled to get them, and they share them with their friends, and it's spreading the word of his message. The important thing you want to do there, though, is you want to make sure that any photo that you post has your business name on it. So in this case, using a watermark is a good way to do that. Here's an example of a local photographer who does a lot of work at my local high school. And she goes to every sporting event from the junior level right up through varsity or high school, and just takes tons of pictures and posts them online, and then the parents purchase the photos from her. If they want. They don't have to. But, for a 2-hour or hour and a half at a football game, she might take 100 photos, post them all on Facebook or on her website, and then let the parents know. She'll start tagging parents and tagging the kids in the photos, and all these kids want to see themselves, and all the parents want their kids, to go to the NFL, so they're out there looking for those pictures. And then from there, she does photo books for them, framed photos, different kind of things where you can put a picture on it. Today, you can put a picture on anything. But she sells all that stuff. So she's actually built a nice business. And then those same people come back to her for graduation pictures, for their engagement, wedding pictures as they get older. So it's a great way to build relationships. She's constantly, even walking through the parking lot, she'll take pictures of the parents and post those on her page, things like that. She also has, advertisements. 10% off your first sports order. So she starts at the junior level and goes to the games and starts locking those kids in at an early age. Okay, here's another example of an artist, and we'll talk about him, James Hance. He does a nice job here. He would probably do a better job if he used hashtags, but he has a pretty good following on social media. He basically took a combination of Star Wars characters and put them in familiar Winnie the Pooh type of images that we would be used to. And he creates items like that and builds either shadow boxes that he sells online. He sells all kinds of art, basically geared around entertainment industry. But if he had hashtagged Star Wars, Winnie the Pooh, he probably would find even more. He'd get more activity on these. Twitter. I know I'm talking fast, but I'm trying to make sure I get everything covered in the time we have here. So, Twitter is a social networking site that allows you to send posts that are 140 characters in length. It allows you to get real creative because you have to figure out how to say what you want to say in 140 characters, and that's not always easy. So you use a lot of abbreviations and a lot of hashtagging. Here's an example of a business, a photographer, and they talk a little bit about, they use their Twitter account to talk about products and educating the customer about different products related to their field. Sorry about that. Not sure why I'm going here. Okay, this is that same artist that I told you, I showed you on Facebook. Here's his Twitter page. He has 6,000 followers. And again, he'll list on here, I'm trying to find one here. Well, here's an example. On February 27th, Leonard Nimoy passed away. He immediately got a post in there about Leonard Nimoy, and he linked it to his Tumblr page. Some of these pages, when you get together here, here's an example here. Here's shadow boxes. I have a few on my Facebook page, and he shows you how to, the link to how to order them. So it's a great way. Twitter's a great way, again, as a feeder to get people to your products and services in order for somebody to buy it, or at least to contact you to get it. Here again is the example that he put on Twitter, putting up some Little Rebels shadow boxes, listing a few over on my Facebook page. And he lists them there and allows people to contact him and buy them from him. So it's a way you mesh the different social media platforms into one targeted thing of selling your product or service. Instagram is owned by Facebook. It's really caught on in the last I'd say 2 years. Very popular. Great way to display products or service. Here's another example. I searched the hashtag watercolor painting, and this shows up. And you can see how they posted the photo, and they use different hashtags so that, again, not only are the people who follow this person see these images, but now anybody who does the search for watercolor, watercolor pencil, watercolor painting, art, etc., will see these drawings. YouTube. YouTube is the most underutilized social media platform, but it's probably the most effective. YouTube is a search engine. So remember that first and foremost, and it's owned by Google. It's the second most popular search engine after Google, but most people don't think of it that way and don't use it that way. If you're an artist, you can use it to tell a story, and you'll want to Google it. But for those of you who haven't seen Kid President, just a great way to tell your story. Kid President on YouTube is a superstar. How-to videos, especially for anybody who's in any kind of graphic art where they can show the process of how things are done. How-to videos are great. There's over 40 or 50 million how-to videos on YouTube, and I learned how to fix my dryer, my gas dryer, using a how-to video on YouTube. How to build things. But again, artists are using it to show the process of how they make something. Okay, Marcel the Shell is a great little video. If you're a video artist, a way to promote your work. You can talk videos about yourself. Again, I use that Jim Giroux. That's that James Hance, the artist. So the one we saw on Facebook and on Twitter, he has videos out there talking about himself. You can also have testimonial videos from clients, just to let them know. The beauty of YouTube is, if you get good at it, you can make money at it because Google will pay to advertise on your videos. Rules, keep it short and simple. People don't want to see a long, drawn-out process. That Jim Giroux gives a good example. He shows a painting, how it's done, but he speeds it up. So it's like really fast, and he gets a whole painting done in about 3 minutes because he plays it on fast forward, fast speed. Don't try to be perfect. People like amateurs, and not everything works for every artist. Okay. Example right here, how to oil paint, free oil painting lesson with Michael Thompson. 1.5 million people have viewed this video. The beauty of that is he probably gets paid 1 to 2 cents per click for each time a person views it, because he's got a whole channel on YouTube, and he's probably a YouTube partner. Once you get, I think, 15,000 views, you're allowed to, or subscribers, I'm sorry, you become a partner with them, and they actually pay you because they're placing advertisements that show up before your videos. So it's a nice way for an artist to make some side money. Here's another one, Blacksmithing Basics. This one has 227,000 views. So again, it's a great way, but you have to get used to doing it. It's not the easiest thing, but there is that option out there for you. Pinterest. Pinterest is a digital portfolio of your work. You can use it as a reference for future ideas, show progress on a project you're working on, as a storyboard, to collaborate with others. The beauty of Pinterest is it acts as a link back to your website or other social media sites where you can sell your product or service. Pinterest is a great tool, is a feeder. It feeds people to where you want them to go. Here's an example of an artist. I have a lot of photographers who are always concerned about the people stealing their images. You know, one of the ways you do that is through the watermark. And this person, I think, did a pretty good job of it. Brooke Kelly Photography. And here's another one that she has, and she watermarks the picture. I have artists will say to me, oh, people complain they can't see the whole image. That's baloney. All they try to do is take a screen capture of your stuff and steal it. Put the watermarks on it, protect your images. Crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is the newest animal for artists that allows you to raise money to back some of your projects. The keys to crowdfunding is making sure that you have stuff that's people would want to invest in. There's different ways to do it. You can do it through rewards or through by doing rewards. Somebody who backs this project may end up getting some kind of sample piece or something signed by the artist or whatever it would be of a reward. Depending on the type of business you're in, you have to make that determination. Kickstarter, GoFundMe, Indiegogo are three popular crowdfunding sites. There's many others. They all have different ways. Some of them will say if the project doesn't get funded, you don't get any of the money. In some cases, there can be partial fundings accepted, but they have different mechanisms on how they work. The key to get crowdfunding. Here's another example. It's an artist. They'll create weird, funny, thought-provoking, and occasionally head-scratching art for $5 and send it to your door. So they're basically using that as a way to sell their products. This person has 135 people who have given up to $3,400 Canadian dollars. Some of the projects go up to 90 days, but you don't really need to do that. Here's another example of a short film. They want to raise $15,000. So far, they've raised $13,000. But the rules for your crowdfunding is you want to have a plan before you go online. Solicit some support before you go live, so that when you start getting, before you go out, you have people who are going to contribute, and that way, when you show up, all of a sudden you start to see you're showing up in their feeds as somebody who already has some donations. Make it personal. Tell your story. Most people today are using a short video, as you can see that if you go on this page and you clicked on it, actually a video will appear that explains the process. Stay engaged with your backers. Converse with them. Consider a target amount. Consider taking it offline. So take it to your other social media sites to help promote and get people there, to funnel people into your page. Be an expert at follow-up. Make sure that you know how to follow up and keep people, again, because it's important that you get good reviews and that you get good things. I know I'm apologizing again. I'm talking fast. I want to get this in. Other sites and apps, LinkedIn. Make sure you set up a profile on LinkedIn. Become known as an expert in your field. Snapchat is the hottest thing with young adults, young kids, college students. Snapchat allows people to post a photo for a short period of time, 10 seconds, and then it disappears. Lulu.com, Etsy.com is ways to sell your product. Folio Link is for photographers. It allows you to post your whole portfolio out there. Hootsuite and TweetDeck are two sites that allow you to manage multiple social media platforms at one time and to track different keywords or phrases. These are free sites. They also allow you to make one post and share it on multiple social media platforms. So when we talked about before time being a problem, so people come to say, I don't have the time, you can go out to these tools, Hootsuite and TweetDeck, and create multiple posts and schedule them. So if you have time on a Sunday, you can go in and create all your posts for the week and schedule them and say, I want to tweet, this tweet to go out Monday, this one to go out Tuesday, this one to go out Wednesday. And it can go out to multiple platforms at once, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and I think to your blog as well. Moving forward, develop a plan. Again, you can't do it all at once at times, so decide which one you think works best for you. Research your relevant keywords. Establish your brand or your screen name. Think in terms of mobile. More and more people are accessing the internet using iPads or tablets and mobile devices, mobile phones. So you have to think in terms of what would work with them. So again, claim your local listings. Don't try to do it all at once. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Your SBDCs are local. You have a chance to get someone there to work with you. Oops, apologize. Again, as part of this, today's handout is on SlideShare. I'm going to give you the link to that in one moment. And then I'm going to open this up for questions. So, Jamie, if you're there, if you want to allow people to ask some questions.
Sure. Yes, and thank you, Keith. That was a really awesome overview of hitting so many different topics under that umbrella of social media. So certainly a lot of good information and stuff for folks to digest and think about. And if you're willing to hang on for a couple extra minutes, I can take maybe a couple of questions. And for those questions that we don't have a chance to get to today, you can send me an email or you can reach out to Keith and we'll answer questions as a follow-up to today's presentation. But while we do have a little bit of time,
James, do I have a way to post this link?
You can. Yeah, you should still. The screen is still being shared with folks. Your screen. So if you put something up on your computer right now, we'll still see the link.
Here's the link up here. That'll take you to the slide presentation from today. And
if you send it to me, I can probably share it with the group as well, or we can post it on our website along with a link to a recording of today's webinar, which we will have posted on our YouTube page.
Very
good. So a couple of quick questions. One that I see here is we have someone that wants to know, is there a charge to create a blog, or is that something that is free to folks?
The sites that I showed you, those blogs are free. WordPress, Blogspot, Tumblr, you can create free blogs on there. They do have, like if you wanted to get a custom domain name to go with your blog and stuff like that, there's charges for that. But the blog that I showed you, scrantonsbdc.wordpress.com, is a free service. One of the things I didn't mention, and this is important, you want to get yourself on as many social media platforms as you can. Because what happens if you put all your eggs in the Facebook basket and tomorrow Facebook comes out and says, we're either taking that option away from you or we're going to start charging you a very high dollar amount? Then what happens to all the customers that you built up on that? So it's important that you build an organic following, but use those tools to do that. So get contact information from people, get customers, but build your list so that when you want to go back to them, you don't have to go through those platforms in the event that those platforms go away at some point.
Good, thank you. I'll do two more questions before we scoot. The next one is, someone wants to know, how do they turn their current Facebook page, which is used only for personal postings right now, into a business page for their artwork?
They need to create a page for the business. If they're currently using a personal profile, just go to the search tool up in Facebook, which is up in the upper right-hand corner, and type just type the word create a page, and it'll actually take you to the link to create a page for your business, and that's also a free service.
So recommending to have your personal page and then your business page.
Right, and what you do is, like in, if you can still see my site there, I'll show you real quick. Okay, here's my personal Facebook page. Right here is a little drop-down arrow, and it allows me to operate as the Small Business Development Center. So then anything I post now on here will be the Small Business Development Center setting.
Gotcha. Thank you. And we'll take one more question. This question is, if you had to pick your top 3 social media platforms, I'm guessing, what or which would they be? And the second part 2 to that question is, how much activity is a minimum per social media site? So daily, monthly, hourly, what's a good minimum there for social media sites, and what's your top 3?
All right, well, the top 3, obviously, I think you want to include Facebook in there. Because there's just so many people on it. However, you know, a lot of that's going to depend on the type of business and what they're using it for. I mean, we're talking about art here. There's all different types of art that, but YouTube is definitely underutilized, and it should be used more. People love videos. It's real search engine friendly. When you create a video and you name it something that's searchable. And again, use geographic identifiers and those kind of things. It's going to get real high relevance in Google when people do a search. So I think YouTube's big. I love Twitter, but from an artist standpoint, you know, maybe your best bet isn't Twitter. You know, again, it's going to depend on the type of business you're in. Maybe Pinterest because of the visual, or actually Instagram, I would say would be in my top 3 if I was an artist. And how many times did you post a day, I think was the other question.
Yeah, like what's the minimum for activity?
Inundate people. I know if you guys are on Facebook, I have friends who are selling, you know, Nerium, these multi-level marketing advocare, and they're in your face constantly. And nobody signed up to these sites to be advertised to. So it's more about joining the conversation and posting. You know, I saw in a furniture store who was talking about on Super Bowl Sunday, hey, the Super Bowl's coming up. Where are you going to watch the game? Do you go out or do you stay home? And then kind of if you're watching from home, based on the responses, hey, check out this new recliner we have, you know, to sit home and watch the game, or this new 40 or 50-inch television. You know, those kind of things kind of work in better than just hard selling nonstop. Because, again, nobody signs up for these things to look at advertisements.
Great. And I have, if you don't mind, one more really quick, because I think it's a quick answer. One person wants to know, they have a business name. Should they use that for their screen name?
If they can use that name check site. If they can, absolutely.
Okay.
But
great.
check out that James Hance, the artist that I showed a few times in here. His is Jim Giroux, that he uses as a screen name on multiple sites. But you know, it's just something that's easy, I guess, and fun for him.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Keith, and thanks for hanging on a little bit extra. Everyone that's still on the webinar call, and Keith, certainly you as well as the presenter, and for sharing all this really wonderful, awesome collection of information on social media marketing today. And as you noted, you will have this as a slide share. We can put that link on our site or link it to Scranton Small Business Development Center site, whichever you'd like. We'll also have a posting of today's recording on our PCA YouTube channel, and you can access that from our website as well. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Keith, for taking a big chunk of your time to help us with this.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Hope everybody has a great day.
Yes, thank you all very much, and have a wonderful rest of your week. Thanks, everybody. Bye, Keith. And
Bye-bye.
Keith, I'll grab the presenting rights back from you right now.
Okay.
And then you should be good. Yep, I got them back. So thanks a lot, Keith.
No problem.
Talk to you soon.
Thanks.
Bye.